So, welcome to becoming more clear, confident, and empowered to deliver your gift of service to the world. So, this is all about delivering that gift of service that you guys came here to as light workers. Came a long way here. But we come into these human bodies and we have this great desire to help the world. I've had this from a very young age. I thought, I was a teenager actually thinking, something's not right about this place, and there's something important I'm here to do to try and help the world. But I knew there was something very special here. But no one would actually tell me what it was I was here to do. So I was sort of going around and feeling lost, really. And school and university and work didn't tell me any of these things. And I was on the search for a very long time, up until my 30s, really. And so I very much was working on issues of low self-esteem and doubt, not being good enough. Who am I to help change the world and make it better? So I did find out what that was, and became a healer, became a teacher, and realized that there's a lot of other light workers who need some help doing this. So this webinar is about how to help you get out there to help the world and to become more empowered and clear and confident to do that. So what I'd like to hear from you guys is what's brought you here and what you'd like from this. And there's a few more people that turned up. Just okay. So I'd just like to hear from you guys who are to talk or to put on the chat why you're here, what do you want from this, because that will set the intention for the webinar. So maybe some people are more confident who wants to talk. I don't know, Lavinia, you tend to be pretty talkative. Do you want to tell me why you're here again, dear? Just switch on your microphone and go for it.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, I think for a long time I've thought that I wanted to be a healer, and that was the way that I wanted to help people, was definitely through healing. But I'm having a sort of, I'm now beginning to doubt that there might be something more. And I've also going through a bit of a confidence crisis. So that's basically why I'm here.
Okay, well, we'll see what we can do with this. The energy of the webinars are quite strong, so it's going to open up whatever issues you've got around this. So just be with it if you're feeling uncomfortable, everybody, it's fine, including everyone watching it on YouTube later, because just be present with whatever feelings are coming up, because we're going to clear a whole bunch of them with divine healing in a little while. Okay. Thanks, Lavinia. Who else would like to share why they're here? Erin, do you want to volunteer? You're brave enough to show yourself. You don't have to if you don't want to. Just switch on your sound there, on the bottom left.
Hi. So I'm transitioning from, I was a professor, and then I started a nonprofit. So I have some personas in the world that are quite different from this aspect of myself. And I really want to move into this aspect of myself comfortably and with confidence, and be able to shed those past expectations that come along with that. So that's my name.
You're in the right place. Yeah, I used to work in the space industry before I worked in the lightworker industry, so it's quite a shift.
Yeah.
Moving from corporate high pressure world into a lot more touchy-feely like this. So it's a lot more satisfying eventually. So thank you, Erin. Okay. Alison says here, to get a clearer sense of direction of my purpose. Okay, we'll see what we can do there. Alison. Who else would like to share why they're here? Lisa?
Obviously with your soul contract reading classes that you've done, I know what I'm here to do, and have had many roadblocks thanks to my 21 threes to actually getting there. when your email came through advertising this webinar, something, when I read the words low self-esteem, something went ping in my head, because my longtime mentor, teacher, recently guided me and said the thing that's blocking you in terms of what I want to create, which is a business, healing business, is low self-esteem. So that word just kind of went off, and I said, I've got to just see what this webinar is all about. So I'm just hoping that the self-doubt and the low self-esteem are going to start to shift, because it's been very crippling for me, and I'm really tired of it. So, yeah.
Okay, it's a good enough reason to get yourself here. Thank you. Yeah, the key is working on self-worth. Actually, that's the one below self-esteem. Fundamentally feeling okay to be alive, to be here, to be embodied, and in coming here from Great Spirit, coming into these bodies, it creates that sense of separation, which creates all these lovely energies of low self-esteem and low self-worth. So we need to work through all the negative stuff that we experience initially. It's part of our training, actually, to come online. So what most people go through is, especially light workers, is normal. It's not like there was some big mistake that I'm not switched on yet because I haven't done all this stuff. Working through the issues that you face to bring yourself online to get to that something special is your training, including your lovely families that you were born into. You may not feel too much in common with, a lot of you. That's part of the training as well. And overcoming all that and transmuting it, and that becomes the gift for you to deliver to the world. Okay, so this is just part of the training, Lisa, because then you'll help other people, having been through it yourself, to move through the same issues. So, okay, Charlotte said here, I'm not quite sure what I can do with my psychic abilities, as many of them that they have been quite dark. If you want to clarify that a little bit, Charlotte. Yeah, okay. Rita, do you want to share why you're here? I have to switch your microphone on the bottom left.
Yeah, it's pretty similar to what a few other people have said. For a long, long time, I know that that's my path to heal, to have a spiritual business, but self-doubt, lack of confidence, always stops me, and somehow or another I'll find a way not to do it rather than to make a start. So yeah, so that's why I joined up, because as was it Lisa said, I'm getting pretty frustrated because I know I've got a gift and I want to start using it.
Okay. See, our soul places in us this deep. We'll get back to the presentation. We'll talk about this. This is good stuff, guys. Thank you. I'm going to jump around this presentation here a bit. Rita, if you could just go on mute for doing the background noise now. Yeah. If everyone can go on mute, because I'm getting a beeping noise from somebody. I think it's Rosario. I'm going to mute you, Rosario. Yeah. I put a lot of slides in here, but it doesn't mean we're going to use them all. So we all come from Source originally. And this is a picture of the multidimensional part of us here. And this is pure consciousness, pure love. And this is at the 12th dimensional level. Think of these as vibrations. And we're down in the 3rd dimension in these bodies. We are intensified light. And so up here, we've forgotten, this is an idea for most of us, but we've actually, just going to meet you in. Up here, we've actually forgotten that we came from here. And we're in these little bodies, feeling, yeah, there's something special for me to do, there's something pulling on my heart, something want to drive me forward. And we're in this pretty strange, dysfunctional world. And we're feeling, how do we get out there? How do I do this? And I went through all this about 20 years ago when I left the corporate world and got into this work. The idea here is to basically clear a channel back up to source. And this is the fourth dimension, this is the astral plane, this is where we go when our physical body dies. In the tunnel of light you see in the Hollywood movies, you move up into the astral plane. This is the fifth dimension, where it's more unified, where we sense we're part of everything, and then there are other high vibrational dimensions here, all the way back to God. So the purpose of what we're here to do is to open these pathways for ourselves, then to embody our higher consciousness into these little bodies here, and then to open up to our multidimensional self, to open up to that love and the knowledge and everything that is available to us once we clear the issues which are facing us in this moment in life. And all those issues are there purely for us to overcome. So if you're feeling low self-esteem or bad about yourself or whatever it is, that's only there to be overcome. It's not meant to, someone else has arrived. Hey, Alexandria. It's not meant to defeat you. So what this is about is just being present with whatever's up for you in the moment. So what we're here to do is we're basically here to become aware of our ego onion. And this is us, this is our flame of consciousness, this is this pure light of our soul. And I'm going to change color here. And the ego builds many layers around us so that we forget this is who we are, we're pure love. And this is our low self-esteem, this is lack of trust. Okay, so when we come into a body, we actually get these issues here coming up. When you pop out of your mum when you're born, the ego feels three things. It feels abandoned by God because we're on this third rock from the sun, feeling disconnected because we're in this body now. And because of that, we feel unworthy to be loved by God. And then we also feel a mistrust of God because God's somewhere out there, somewhere separate. So these are the three core programs that our ego onion is built up of, for all of us. It's just some different combination of that. So our job is to heal the abandonment, unworthiness, and the mistrust, okay, by God. So today we're working on unworthiness here. So you're in the right place, Lisa. And the key with our ego onion is to work on the layer of the onion that you're feeling in the moment, however uncomfortable it is. Okay? Work on whatever layers up for you in this moment. And then as that peels off, which is what we're going to do today, okay, use divine healing to peel that layer. And it's about being okay to be present with whatever layer's there, no matter how uncomfortable it is. Peel that, let it integrate. And then be present with the next layer. Peel that and integrate. And eventually you'll get back to this pure consciousness. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Charlotte has said something else here. Yeah. I've had spirits attack me until recently. I thought the voice was my angel, but it was a dark entity. I will start with your soul contract readings. It's incredibly exciting, but I do doubt my abilities. Well, we're going to clear those dark spirits in a little while, Charlotte, so just hang in there. So basically, it's about getting back to this pure love here. And the journey of transmuting these layers here, it's the journey of life. Because we, as a spark of the divine, we separated from Source when Source had an outbreath of itself. It wanted to know itself. The Creator wants to know itself, not through pure thought, but through direct experience. So we as sparks of the divine densified gradually through the dimensions from pure light down to embodiment in a physical body, densified light, to the point that we forgot that's where we came from. That's why we feel all by ourselves at times. That's with the abandonment and all the other stuff I just mentioned, judgment, and our judgment of ourselves, our unworthiness, our lack of trust comes because we feel so separate. And what also came into place is what we call interference zone of astral beings who deliberately prevent us connecting back to source. Okay. So what happens with this is that our journey of awakening and connecting back is our training for delivering our gift, as I mentioned earlier. So it's about working with each one thing at a time that comes up. It's staying focused on getting back here, back to light. All right. And that's the nature of the human condition, because the very journey, one step at a time, it's not the end point, the journey of getting back to source, that visceral experience is us as a spark of the Creator creating. And that's life. That's what you came here to do. It's not about, oh my God, it's going to take me years to heal, then I can really get on with my life. This is our life right now. All right. And that experience of viscerally going through that is what the Creator wanted to have. It wanted to have a sense of separation, because the Creator's not out there in the universe doing stuff. We are the Creator embodied, each of us. This journey of gradually moving back through this intense emotional experience, being in these bodies, because it's much denser, it's much more powerful when you're in a body to feel emotions. You get a lot less emotional imprint and effect when you're out of a body in the high dimensions. So you may not believe it, but a lot of souls line up to come and to get into a body to have this intense learning experience. All right. Even though we feel, man, it'd be great if we could just get home. Is there a shortcut? Okay. I think if I want to go to the Bahama planet after this lifetime, where I can chill out and not have to have it so intense. All right. So, what do people do when they find themselves in a body and it's pretty intense emotionally, mostly negative, a lot of negative emotions going on? Well, most people go into avoidance of the negative feelings, addictions, acting out, workaholism, all sorts of things like that. So they stay stuck. And you notice how people who are not on the spiritual path, if they don't do their work, they get old and bitter and angry. It's because of the programming, the separation programming is so strong, and it wears them out, literally. Or if we become aware of our programming, like as light workers, initially we may judge it and feel bad about it, which is what a lot of people do, because we can start to feel it, and we try to avoid feeling. But the key to going home, the key to getting back to source, back to that love, which we know that we are, that's because it feels like something's inherently wrong with this place, doesn't it? It's like something's not right. It's so dissonant. We need to go back to that light. Is that the key is actually to resonate and own each layer of your onion, emotional onion. The very thing the ego does not want to do. The ego wants to avoid pain, but our job is to go into the pain briefly and bring feeling consciousness to the pain. Find out where it comes from, because when we bring consciousness to it, then we can clear it, and then you've got that layer's gone. Okay. So here's how we do it, because I'm going to explain what we're going to do, then we're going to go and do it. So, in order to heal, we need a willingness and a desire and a courage to heal. So this is our feeling consciousness, and most people are keeping it out here. They don't want to go in here at all. And so it's about identifying the issue that's running. And a lot of the time we could feel, I'm just not feeling good. Don't know what it is. But the idea here is to bring feeling consciousness to low self-esteem, doubt, and we both of those have been mentioned, not feeling is not being good enough. Because what you feel, you can heal. I used to feel that I had no right to take up any space and breathe air or use any resources when I was younger. I thought, I'm just a waste of space. That's how I used to feel. Such was my low self-esteem. But the ego is not so keen on us doing that at all. So what it does, it tries to numb us out and buries these issues by putting this layer, this turquoise emotional ice. You can't feel the stuff. Yeah, low self-esteem, not being good enough. Because what you can't feel, you can't heal. And the Western mind's been very programmed to control our emotions. So we think our way through things, we figure it out. It's been for the past 350 years since Newtonian science was brought in, which was designed to do this. It was designed to disconnect us from the creator. That's the only point of science. It was deliberately introduced to disconnect us from source, from our true nature. And look at where it's got us. All right. So, what we need to do here to lead a happier life and a more fulfilled one, and to get on with our missions, is the following. This is us, our impermanent personality here, and we're made up of the mental and emotional bodies, these 7 energy bodies all together, including those 2 in a physical body. And this is filled with all these emotional separation programs that create the sense of separation from God. Abandonment, unworthiness, lack of trust in God, plus all the myriad of combinations. Now, our higher self, this bit up here, where we come from, this is the permanent part of us. This is actually who we really are. This just exists in this lifetime. Each time we incarnate, this is forever. Yeah. This is running at a much higher frequency, and it consists of an atomic body, or God self, a buddhic body, or the higher emotional self, and then a non-linear mind that just knows stuff, just like Mozart was downloading symphonies when he was 7. It was all coming from here. So to get to the place of delivering your mission, feeling good about yourself, the key is to clear this entire personality of all the karmic programming that your soul chose before you came in. It's not there to punish you, it's just there to be cleared, so that you can open up this antakarana, this connection to higher self. And that's when life gets interesting. What happens is you open that up, as the antakarana starts to get bigger, your connection to higher self opens up. You're opening this passageway. Then unconditional love, the violet, starts to come in. You start feeling better about yourself. Your frequency starts to rise. As that happens, it pushes out more of the emotional separation programming that's causing you pain. And for those of you who are familiar with soul contract work, your soul contract is basically creating all of this. And as you do more work on yourself, more love comes in, more your frequency rises, more consciousness comes in. Life starts to get a little easier. And if you keep doing this, you reach this point where the antakarana has reached maximum opening. And this is what we call enlightenment. It's where you have dissolved the ego and your personality has become a servant for higher consciousness. It's where you have totally surrendered to the flow of spirit. And this is where you're in a much more blissful, surrendered state. You're no longer fighting yourself. This is why Christ went into the desert for like 12 years to do this, to burn through his ego so he could embody the higher consciousness that he truly was. And what happens then is that as the ego surrenders, which is here, higher consciousness comes through, to and through you, into the world, and it's manifesting your spiritual mission, that special thing we all feel, that thing which no one can really give us the answer, but it starts to reveal itself. It starts earlier, actually. You don't have to wait till you're enlightened. And that's very rare for anyone to become enlightened here, but it's a bit easier than it used to be. Even at this stage here, you have more consciousness coming through by clearing the issues in the personality here. You can do an awful lot. You're getting access. You're already manifesting your mission like this. Because this is like a big 3-dimensional holographic projection screen the Earth plane. So for those of you who are familiar with the movie The Matrix, this is the Matrix. It's a metaphor. Matrix is a metaphor of what we have here. Your reality is created holographically by the embodiment of your higher consciousness going out to the world. And if you have this personality filled with emotional separation, creating all the negative feelings you have, your matrix is not particularly happy. But as you clear it, life gets easier because there's a pathway for the higher consciousness to come in. And this pours into the matrix through you. You're like a projector, or like a film projector. It goes out to the reality, and your reality starts to change for the better. So the key is to clean up your projection lens, which is your personality, so you get this eventually. So a lot of the negative emotion moves out of the way, your business starts, or continues, grows, and then you feel a lot better because you feel a lot of the negative emotion, and life starts to happen. Just going to have a drink. This is the most important drawing I'm going to show you. And so this is how we start with our little human ego here. He feels it's in charge, but actually knows nothing ultimately. Because the ego is only there to create a sense of separation from God. Because if we didn't believe we were separate from God, we wouldn't engage with our programming. If you landed here and feeling I am source, there would be nothing to do. But because we have the sense we're a small little human being, a little ego here, we strive to get back to who we are. But as we grow in consciousness in our spiritual path, and expand to the vastness of spirit, we get access to that higher consciousness. As we do that, we start to move from this dotted line, which is the path of suffering, which we all go through, because we're following the ego and all its lovely things it tries to get up to. And the chances of getting things right and creating the life you want with allowing your ego to be in charge are pretty small. Half the time it gets it wrong in terms of what the next step should be in life, which is why you have life the way it is for most people. So if we clear ourselves, in this case, say with divine healing, we move to this path up here. This is following the spiritual signature. This is the path of bliss, delivering that gift of service to the world. In the process, as you move there, your self-esteem will improve, your self-worth will improve. And this is the line where in each moment, you're following what opens your heart the most, because your soul is going to communicate to you through the feeling in your body for the next right step. And your heart will open the most to the thing which is going to deliver the best possible result. And if you start to follow this and not follow the machinations of the ego, and you converge on this gradually over time, it takes time, life starts to flow, life starts to open, things start to come to you, you start to feel better. So that's your goal, people, is to move from here to here, and then your mission will happen. God sends many light workers to earth, but only those who manage to go from here to here actually bring their missions online. So it's about doing the work. You've got to burn through what's in the ego to get following the signature here. And this is where in each moment you're following the flow, feeling. I mean, think about if you're an intuitive cook, you just have a feeling that something's done and when to do the next thing. It's the same idea, but you're doing that with life. As you open to that flow, things start to come to you because you're in the right place at the right time, doing or saying the right thing, and then things turn up. So what happens here is that we're clearing these emotional blockages which are programmed into our physical and energetic bodies here. And it steals a lot of life force. Our energy gets low. Life becomes very challenging. But as we clear this stuff, which is what we're going to do shortly with divine healing, we start to dissolve these blockages, and the blockages dissolve, and life force is freed up because this steals our life force, all our programs. And then things start to open up a lot more for us. Okay. So what we're going to do right now is that we're going to give you a direct experience of divine healing, which is a multidimensional system that comes from Source. Because everything that can be learnt by being in these bodies has been learnt. So now it's just a process of getting us everyone home and consciously. The idea is to go consciously and burn through all our issues and remember being in this webinar. Remember how separate it was, how we felt about being so separate from God. And so Source came together, many different races of beings at many dimensional levels, produces very simple and profound set of healing tools you can use on yourself, on others, to reconnect to spirit, clean up your personality programming. Come into self-empowerment. Become enlightened if you really work on yourself. Okay, which is what we're going to do shortly. And it can enable you to make your life really happen. I mean, I used to be very stuck, disempowered, feel like a victim my whole life. I created a very abusive childhood. I thought I was stuck. I thought there was no way that I'm going to get on with this special thing I had felt my whole life. And I learned this divine healing in about 2006, and lots started to change. I sort of got a grip on my programming. I'd say my dreams are coming true. I went from barely making a living to having a global teaching business now. That's through a lot of hard work. And this vision, I had a vision of helping a lot of people. I had a lot of psychic readings saying you're going to help a lot of people. And that's starting to happen. This healing process is still going on. There's always issues, but it's a lot easier. And I'm starting to tap into these gifts and qualities. Life's starting to get a little more joyful and a lot of fun. And self-worth's definitely improved. That's been one of my main karmic programs. And I feel like, yeah, I'm becoming the master of my life, and then starting to deliver my gift of service to the world. It's taken a lot longer than I would have liked, but 13 years of doing this sort of work has made a vast difference, or 14 years actually now. So we're going to have an experience of this now, okay? So, what I want you guys to do is take your shoes off, have your feet flat on the ground, and we are going to clear a whole bunch of interference energies, which is probably giving you a hard time at the moment. We're going to clear these guys here. We're going to blow a hole in here. A lot of interference, which is around us, which disconnects us from source. Okay. So when we do this work, I want you to be breathing through your mouths, because that basically helps us get into the feeling in the body. Most of people tend to breathe through their nose, so they want to stay in their head and figure it out. But as you probably realize, figuring it out only gets you so far. Okay. This is about feeling it. All right. So what I've done here is I've opened the divine healing space. I've opened the connection and alignment to source prior to the webinar. So you might have felt a few changes, and this applies to everyone who watches the YouTube video later. Okay. So close your eyes, because closing the eyes shuts the mental body down. Okay. If you open your eyes, your mental body will start to try and figure this thing out, and I don't want you doing that. I want you to feel this out. Okay. So we're going to clear different types of interference, and the first type we're going to clear are what are called Earthbound Souls. These are beings who've left the physical body, and they've got attached to you because you carry the same issues that they were working on when they were embodied. So I'll be doing these command codes quietly. What I want you to do is breathe through your mouths, deep into your lower belly, especially. Feel what's in there and be okay with it. Doesn't matter what it is, it's fine as it is. I want you to feel what's going on and feel the shifts. So here we go. We're going to clear some Earthbound Souls. Anyway, if you watch this video later, the same amount of healing will occur as it's happening now, as the transmission is maintained. I want you to feel the shift now. They're now leaving. You may literally feel your body move or shudder. That happens sometimes in the webinars. Breathe a little more deeply. Breathing's important here. A lot of the time we stop breathing, so the ego doesn't want to feel what's going on. So just open your mouth a little and breathe. So I want everyone to say after me, thank you, angels, for your help and assistance with us. So say that out loud, because gratitude opens the connection to source. The next layer of interferences we're going to clear are extraterrestrial presences who are vibrating slightly higher frequency than us. Nothing to worry about. They're just curious about us because they want to understand how our human rich sea of human emotions work, which is why most of them are here, because a lot of them lost their emotional body. It was diminished a long time ago. So we're going to clear these guys out here because they're interfering with us. Nothing malicious, it's just curious on their part. So I want everyone to say after me. Okay. I now claim full ownership of my being and my bodies in all my incarnations, past, present, and future, across time and space, as I acknowledge and choose to fully reconnect with my original divine blueprint. Feel the energy shift, and I feel a bit lighter. My body's moving around a little bit here. If you drop out of Zoom, okay, just click the email confirmation link again and come back in. Because it's quite energetic what we're doing, it can affect the internet. Feel the shift. And express gratitude, just say thank you, because that bypasses the ego, entirely connects you to source and brings in grace. You can never say enough thank yous. And I'm feeling a bit lighter now. All right, and the third group of astral beings are discarnates, entities, and attachments, all sorts of weird beings who trying to keep us asleep. Okay, we're going to clear them now, okay? Let's do this quietly. Feel the energy shift. Say thank you. So I'm going to raise your vibration now so these beings can't find you again. Okay, everyone say thank you. That layer's gone. All right, just breathe into that. Okay, you can open your eyes now. Okay, so we've opened up. A bit of connection to source. I want to hear how you guys feel, just gives you a bit of time to integrate. Who would like to volunteer how they feel, even if you just put it on the chat, you guys who are not on video. It'd be good to hear how that's been for you. Erin, how are you doing? You want to share how that was?
Thank you. I felt some shifts. I felt energy moving, and I just tried to be really present with it. And now I do feel some a little bit lighter and more expansive. That makes sense.
Yep. Good. Now you know who's been hanging out, holding your energy down.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. So you guys can watch the video again if you're feeling a bit overloaded. Just watch the video again, and then it will clear another layer for you. Okay. I'm going to Charlotte said here, many tears, but I always cry when I clear. I feel so blessed. Thank you. Thanks, Charlotte. Okay. Lavinia, how was that for you? Have to unmute there.
Sorry, I was going to write on chat, but it's quicker to speak. I had tremendous overpowering tingling on the soles of my feet,
Yeah.
right immediately. and then it was like an ice cold breeze just shot up from my feet all up my body. It was so strong. The tingling on my feet lasted throughout, and it was so strong I couldn't really sense anything else.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, the cold energy is what we call a flame of love is purified. It's a blue-black ascension flame. What it's doing is burning out a lot of low-frequency energy out of you. Okay, they ought to come from the higher self. Alana Lariel said, I feel amazing, thank you. Okay, thanks, Alana. Rita, how was that?
Yeah, I felt a lot of tingling during, but at the moment I feel a bit spaced out.
Yeah, that's okay, because a lot of these beings have been with you a very long time, so it can be disorientating when interference appears. It takes a little while to integrate. That's why we're having a bit of a pause before we do the next part of the healing process. Okay, thank you. Lisa, how was that?
It's difficult for me to say what I felt. I didn't feel anything significant, in terms of on a physical level. More like sort of subtle waves of something moving, and just feeling a sense of relief, but very, very subtle. But then I don't think I'm one of those people who feel a lot on a physical level when doing the energy work. I don't know why. It is how it is. Whether it's divine healing or SRT, I don't seem to experience it on a physical level.
Yeah, it's just the way you're built. So as for everyone else listening here, some people feel a lot more, some feel less, and it's okay, whatever it is. We are where we are. It's about accepting this is where we are and just taking the next step.
Mm-hmm.
It's important not to compare yourself to anyone else here. I used to feel nothing when I started this work, and I was trying to become a healer. How's that? I was completely numbed out, but I gradually thawed out, and now I feel an awful lot. So,
yeah, thank you.
Connie, are you able to talk, Connie? Connie's at work, so.
Yes,
How was,
I am
how
for
was
a
that?
second. It's good. It was amazing. I felt a lot of movement, and then my left shoulder started to hurt.
Yeah.
And then I just got a kind of a rush of warmth, and then I got cold chills, and then I kept yawning, and I couldn't stop yawning for quite a while.
Yeah, yawning means a lot of negative energy shifting. Yawning or burping, that's fine. It's actually a good sign. That means your body's really releasing stuff when that happens.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh, Anne said, I had chills and energy moving through me. Then I readjusted my spine and feel lighter, feeling a sensation in my left upper temple. So the body sensation can be literally interference beings leaving your body. And that's what happened to you, Connie, in your shoulder. Literally, they're trying to get out because the frequency is too high, and we just come out of them to leave. Okay. All right. Anyone else want to share? Yeah, switch your camera on and be brave like the other guys in chat, or put it on the written chat there. See if anyone else before we move to the next stage. No? Okay, let's go to the next stage then. I'm just going to share the screen. Thanks everyone for sharing. Okay. So what we just did then, people, is that we blew a hole in this. We just took out a chunk of that, and you got access to the tingling comes from the higher dimensions. That's the higher self here, embodying more. Right? You just cleared a pathway here. So you just went from here, and you increased it. Maybe not quite that much, but you increased that connection. That's what we just did. All right. Erin says, I'm seeing auras brighter now. Smiley face. I wasn't noticing them before, yeah. So the higher consciousness that comes in activates your high dimensional abilities. Things you've always had, they just got shut down. All right. So that's what we call the interference chart in divine healing. This here is the divine healing manual. This is the level 1 manual. It's all about empowering yourself. We call it Master Key to Ascension because it's designed to clear out all the programming you have that disconnected you from Source and to get you home in consciousness to Source. That's what it's for. And this is a 12-strand DNA. Now, 2 of those strands are physical, the other 10 are multidimensional. And basically that contains all our programming. And so what we're doing is we're cleaning up and activating the DNA, especially when we do this work. All right. So divine healing consists of 26 charts here, which we work with. And we just did this chart here, interference and block chart here. And these charts are designed to be used together to basically start cleaning up your ego onion. So the chart we're going to do now is this main low frequency program chart. Okay, on page 55. So we're going to clear out some of that negative emotion some of you have been feeling. Okay, this is all the different low frequency programs. It's not a totally inclusive list that you can have here. Okay. So what I want you guys to do is to close your eyes. And I want you to breathe in to whatever negative emotions up at the moment. It's low self-esteem, unworthiness, despair, whatever's running for you. Okay, it's been triggered so far by coming to the webinar. And breathing through your mouth and feeling that. Okay. Welcome, Tracy's just joined us. And as you're breathing into the feeling in your body, I'd like you to focus on that special thing you're here to do, that special gift. And focus on that, because what happens is that when we start to focus on that something special we're here to do, the ego says, oh, we can't do that. It's going to trigger its defense mechanisms. And what we're doing is we're going to flush out more of the negative programming, trying to stop us getting to that special thing by focusing on it. Because most of the time the ego distracts us saying, come and look at all the dark stuff. Come and look at all the programming I've got. Keep you occupied your whole life. And therefore, it distracts us. But if we start to focus on where we want to go, the ego says, oh, you can't do that. I'm going to try and stop you. I'm going to throw out more programming. And then that's what we want it to do. We want to bring up more programming so we can clear it. We're basically flushing out the programming here. And this may include the low self-esteem, doubt, feelings not being good enough, whatever it is. Just be with them. They're all okay. Just part of the design here. So I want you to feel those programs. Just feel them, breathe into them. Most of the time, our ego doesn't want to breathe into it. Breathe into them and bring consciousness to them. So what we're doing is that we are breaking through the ego's defense mechanisms, and we're moving our consciousness into the issue here, whatever it is. And be aware if you feel bad about having this, it's okay. And the other good one is become aware of the judgment the ego has of the program. That's a tricky one to get a handle on at the feeling level. But when you're aware of the judgment we have, the self-judgment and the feeling of bad, that starts to dissolve the ego's defense mechanisms because it uses that to stop us clearing the programming. And let yourself open to all aspects of this feeling. So breathe out into that feeling. Fill the space. Go to places where you didn't want to go to before. Okay. So you're turning inward to this programming. Become aware of any attachment you have to the program. The ego is attached to suffering. And the more you can open to the program, the deeper it will clear. It will integrate and heal. Give a voice for me. Give it another minute, and then we're going to clear this as a group together with this command code here. Oops. Keep breathing a little more deeply. You're probably going to places you haven't been to before, or you wasn't keen to let you go there. And this is the places we go with divine healing. This is the way home. This is the way home to that special thing we're here to do. This is the way home to source, to unity, to love. Okay, I'd like everyone to open their eyes. I want you all to switch your microphones on, even the guys who haven't got the video on, because we're going to do this command code together. It's only if you want to, because in doing it together collectively, because there's 20 of us here now, or 19 of us, it's very powerful when we do the command code together. When we work as a group, it's much more powerful than you work by yourself. So we're using the power of this group energy to really clear a deep layer. So keep breathing into that negative emotion, whatever it was you're feeling, with your eyes open, and say out loud to me. So these command codes are basically where you're commanding the universe. Remember, you are a spark of the divine. And in the Bible, they say, in the beginning there was the Word, which was the sound of God. So you are a spark of the divine, and as you start to believe that more, when you do a command like this, it's going to get more and more powerful. So you're speaking as a spark of the divine, commanding this change to occur. So we're going to say this in bite-sized chunks. So say after me, we are Saint Germain.
We ask Saint Germain
Pour the purple flame
to pour
the
the
purple
flame
through the aura
through the aura
and subtle bodies.
and
subtle
subtle
bodies,
Burn away all low-frequency energies
to burn away all low frequency energies
we have discovered
that we have
that we
discovered,
that new higher-level vibrations
so
so that new
higher level vibrations
can be accessed.
can be
can
accessed.
be
accessed.
So the Ascended Master Saint Germain is doing this now, so we just allow him to get on with it. So we pause between command codes. It takes a little while for these things to happen. And we're going to go through this list here. Okay, so repeat after me. Saint Germain and Higher Self.
Saint Germain
And higher self.
Please burn out in one go.
Please burn out in one go.
Remember to say this with authority. 100% the core issue
100%
The core issue
through all levels and dimensions.
through all levels and dimensions.
We'll pause there. So you just allow that energy to be busy and to happen. 100% the original cause
100%
the original cause
through all levels and dimensions.
for all levels
and dimensions.
Okay. 100% the source of its power
100% source of its power
through all levels and dimensions.
through all levels and
dimensions.
Pause there, that's done. 100% all energy attached
100% all energy attached
through all levels and dimensions.
through all levels and dimensions.
100% all of its effects
100% all of its effects
through all levels and
All
dimensions.
and dimensions.
That last one
Thank you.
move through.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Feel a
you.
shift.
Thank you.
We always give a bit of time when we're doing divine healing for things to shift. Okay, while that integrates, let's just have a little check-in on the chat and live here. So how was that, Rita? How was that one? Just have to unmute.
Yeah, after I fed back to you, I sent you a message on the chat that I suddenly started feeling a lot of burning around my heart area, my chest.
Yeah.
And then when we started going to the next phase and breathing, I was feeling really angry. And then I kind of got connected with that anger to where my low self-esteem was. And it went right back to my parents, basically. That's what came up. I had a few tears then.
Yep.
I've still got warmth around there, but it's not as intense. It got very intense at one point. So, yeah.
Well done. Cleared some, I can't say it cleared some of the heart pain and wounding from childhood. Because we're focusing on where we want to go. Ego tries to stop us, it will throw up its defenses because it doesn't want to show us the programs unnecessarily, but we flush them out, then you've cleared a layer. So you're a little bit closer to source, a little bit closer to home, a little bit closer to getting that business started.
Thank you.
Okay. She looks a bit brighter, doesn't she? Yeah. All right. I'll get some things on the chat here. Tracy said, so sorry I was late, my alarm was not sent. Not to worry. Tracy, you've been in the actual healing process from the beginning because you set your intent to be here. Erin, how was that? Yeah, you're on already. It's okay.
Oh, I'm already on. I felt a lot of the fear coming up, and I think this is related to past life stuff as well.
Yeah.
So I was really happy to allow that to clear, and just feel the freedom that comes with that.
Yeah.
So, feels really good.
Good. The next chart we're going to do in a little while, once you've integrated, is a past life chart. There's a lot of stuff that's stopping us bringing that special thing online. So.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Alana Lario said, wow, went deep into the levels of grief and fear of being seen, shining, putting myself out there, even saw the chronic illness as part of the program of keeping me hidden. So I released that too. Well done, Alana. If you keep at this and focusing where you want to go, eventually all the programs they'll basically peel away and they'll all dissolve if you keep at it. Okay. Ego will try and stop you from doing that, but you're determined you can do this. It's going to be done. Okay. Lisa, how was that for you?
I don't know if I'm just not engaged with this, but I'm not really getting any insights, or I don't know, I just feel shut down at the moment. And I mean, fatigue, I'm feeling fatigue, and just, I'm not having any sort of revelations or any feeling that I'm cracking through what's really holding this in place for me. So that's where I'm at the moment.
It's okay. I mean, the ego is very clever in its defenses. Okay, so it's just a matter of gradually taking the layers out and dismantling it. See, there are times when this is challenging on the awakening process. There's times where we think, oh, I'm not getting anywhere, but actually often a lot of stuff's going on underneath. And then you just need to hit a critical mass of programming, specific programs which are clear, and then that layer starts to dissolve. So there'll be some sort of defense mechanism which you've got to get to.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Be in that place. It's important to let go of any expectations on how this process is meant to go, because that actually means it locks us down to being in a certain way. It's just about being open to whatever happens. And when we let go, things start to shift. Charlotte said, for Erin, I didn't either, but that's perfectly okay. You are perfect at the point where you are now. Thanks, Charlotte. Okay, Lavinia, how was that?
Yeah, I'm completely sort of on another planet, I think. I felt a lot of sort of heat and release across my shoulders, particularly my left shoulder. Yeah. But I sort of felt almost as though I went blank, sort of halfway through the process.
Yeah, that can be quite strong when we do this. So, okay. All right, we're going to do the next stage now. What we're going to do is we're going to clear some past life issues, which are stopping you getting to that special thing. So I want you to close your eyes and connect with that first. All right. I want you to focus on that special thing. Some of you know what it is already. Some of you don't. Some of you may be somewhere in between, but feeling, ooh, that special thing I'm here to do. And don't think about the practicalities of how you're going to do it. because it's just been planted there as a primary means to drive you forward in life, in terms of your soul purpose. Breathe into that special thing. Bring it into your heart, that special thing, and imagine yourself that you've already done it. You could be a teacher or a healer, or there's something special thing you've done in the world. And breathe through your mouth into that, because what we're going to do is we're going to trigger more layers of programming. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to clear the past life issues around that program, around that gift, past life issues which are holding you back. Because a lot of what we're processing comes from past lives. In fact, 80% of what we having to deal with comes from what we've not resolved in previous lifetimes. We're going to use this command code here, which is basically for clearing past life death, which may have been involved in for some of you. But we're going to do it as a more general command code to actually clear a lot of past life stuff holding you back. Okay, so everyone, if you want to switch your microphones on again, we're going to do this past life clearing chart. So listen to my words. It won't be exactly the same wording. I'm going to adjust this chart a little bit. So breathing in that special thing you're here to do, being aware of the past life pull and influence. Repeat after me in bite-sized chunks. Higher self.
Higher self.
Higher self.
Please clear, heal, and integrate.
Please
Clear,
clear,
heal, and integrate.
All these files and memories,
all
These
these
files and memories,
including all cellular memories,
including all cellular memories,
the DNA and the subatomic levels.
the DNA and the subatomic levels.
I am now ready to heal
I am now ready to heal
all traumatic deaths and lifetimes
all traumatic
Lifetime,
which are preventing me
which are preventing me
fully manifesting my mission of service here on earth.
from fully
manifesting
my mission on earth.
That special thing I've come to do in this lifetime.
That special thing I've
thing
come
I've
to
come
do
to
in
do
this life.
in
this life.
At all levels and dimensions,
at all levels,
all time frames,
all time
Time
frame,
frames,
realities and universes.
realities
is
and universe.
Pause there. So let stuff's being unwound. Your body might move around. You may feel cords pulling out of you, all sorts of things. I think a bit cold and chilly actually. You might shake. It's okay to shake, or yawn, or whatever. I feel a bit altered now from that. So, next step, I command
I command
that any soul fragments
That any
Soul fragments
held with these memories
held with these memories
are now returned to me,
are now returned
return to me
fully whole and intact,
fully whole
and intact,
as appropriate.
as
appropriate.
I welcome these soul fragments back.
I welcome these
Welcome
soul
fragments
back.
Parts of us disperse when we have these strong past life experiences. So we've got to bring them back, because that's the part of us that's missing. That's why sometimes we're not always here, literally. Help us carry out this. I command
Command
that the whole holographic matrix
that
the whole holographic
matrix
matrix
be repaired
be repaired
through all layers and levels,
through all layers
and levels,
and brought into full alignment,
and then
into full alignment,
integration,
integration
balance,
and balance
allow for wholeness to emerge.
to allow for wholeness to emerge.
Get that shift. Now I want to yawn.
Thank you.
When you feel the shifts happen, you say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Embrace the shift.
Let that shift the energy around a bit. when we do these strong healing processes, it's destabilizing the ego a little bit. So we need to actually do what we call an integration chart to infuse energy to stabilize us, because the ego is used to being in a certain way for a very long time, and suddenly it's not, because you took out a whole bunch of programming. So we do these deep clearing program charts, and then we integrate it. Because the idea is to keep you just to clear but stay stable in the process. So what we're going to do now is we're going to infuse energetic frequency as energetic nutrition to help integrate. Okay. So this is how this works. The divine healing is usually deep clearing chart, and then we integrate. So we're going to go up to the nutrition chart here, which is this one here. And so what we have here is the following. You have 4 types of new energetic nutrition: amino acids, essential fatty acids, and then below here we have minerals and vitamins. And you can see that there's 21 of these here and there's 26 here. So you just need one of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll through these slowly, and one of them's going to jump out at you. So I want you to write this down or just remember it, okay? You don't have to be able to pronounce it or know what it does. It doesn't matter. Your higher self is guiding you. It's like literally, you may see the carnitine jump off the page, and so that's the one you've got to go for. Your eyes drawn to one, all right? Because that's what your higher self is guiding you to take. And we will be infusing the frequency of the physical substance, because supplements and nutrition is just is a frequency we take into the body, and this will help integrate all the changes we've done in the past hour. All right, so don't think about it too much. It's important in divine healing. So I'm just going to scroll through slowly. I'm going to go up and down a few times. One of them will jump out at you. And try not to think about it, because the ego thinks, oh, I should have a vitamin. It's not about that. But following the spiritual signature here. So that's the one. That's the bottom. I'm going to go up again slowly. Go down once more. And divine healing is all about intention. Even if you just looked at one of them and said, that's my one, you've loaded it into what we call the divine healing stack, ready to be used. Even if you forget the name shortly after it, it's still in there, okay? All right. Okay. Anne said, I saw all the limitations that keep popping up when I tried to move forward, giving me a sense of overwhelm, tired, weary, even despair. I became acutely aware that I manifest all of the limitations. I lightened, felt a bit of nausea and lightheadedness, leveling out a bit now. Okay, very good, Anne. When we own that we are creating our reality, the next thing that comes from that is, if I'm creating it, I can change it. And that's a big shift. That's about moving out of any feeling of being a victim, which a lot of us have at some stage in life, to being empowered, to coming into mastery. This is what this is about. This is about empowering you to change everything in your life by clearing these programs. So, microphones on, everybody. We're going to do this command code together. All right, repeat after me. Higher self.
Higher self.
Higher self.
Please encode this nutrient
Please encode this nutrient
in the perfect balance
in the perfect balance
that is required,
That is
required
clear and align
and clear and aligned.
all pathways,
All pathways
maximum assimilation,
for maximum assimilation,
absorption,
absorption,
and utilization.
and utilization.
Close your eyes and breathe it in. So it's coming in, usually coming in from above. What it's doing is it's bypassing all your ego defense mechanisms, because frequency is not conscious and ego can't track it, can't stop it. And the right frequency would have been chosen to basically negate whatever negative programming is within you that needs to be cleared or needs to be integrated from all the other previous charts. Oh, burping a little bit now. Something's coming in. Shivering. I've had a lot of a lot of serious disempowerment programming coming out of me in the past week. So this is really helping me a lot. It continues no matter where you are in your path. There's more stuff to be cleared. Okay, so you can open your eyes and breathe a little bit. All right, so that's integrated what we've just been doing. You should feel a little more calmer, hopefully, but clearer. Just want to hear from a few of you how you feel now. Erin, how's that feeling?
Under my shoulder blades, there was some dull, aching kind of pain, and that's dissipated now.
Okay. Time to spread your wings. You guys can put stuff in the chat. Charlotte said, I have quite a headache and my shoulders hurt. Yeah, headaches come from, there's often a detox out of the cells. When you clear an emotional program out the cells, because the cells are 70% water, okay, you get the physical detox, because the emotional program and the physical toxin are combined, so that you get physical toxicity leaving the body as you clear stuff. So you need to drink a lot of water, Charlotte, after this. Alana said, golden and warm. Charlotte says, thank you. Thank you, guys. Rita, how are you feeling now?
My head feels clearer.
Yeah.
I was quite spaced out earlier, and then it got there was a lot of pressure. There's still warmth around actually it's kind of a little bit in my chest, but it moved to my stomach. But I feel clearer in my head and a bit more balanced, but I feel like possibly stuff is still leaving. I don't think it's cleared.
It'll be leaving for a while. Might be leaving for a few days after this.
I think that's what that warmth is about.
Well, the warmth is the release of life force. It's I'll show you. Yeah, just got to get this into the right place. And here, I found the diagram. Just going to move the PowerPoint over again. So the warmth is this. The warmth is you freeing up the life force because you've cleared a whole bunch of programming. So you get hot and cold when you're doing this. Warmth is, the hot is life force being freed up, the cold is spirit burning out old programming. Okay. All right. A few more things in the chat. So Charlotte said, I received that one. So she said, thank you. Tracy has said, my heart was racing and beating fast. Now calm, yeah. Thank you. Caroline said, feeling very calm and peaceful. Anne said, I felt stronger as soon as I found my nutrient on the screen, and it spread through me. Feeling something on my right temple now, still feeling shifting within, mostly in the stomach and lower spine. It can take a little while for things to shift here. Lavinia, how was that?
Yeah, I've got a slight headache as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, drink lots of water. For this clean water. Keep flushing. I mean, I've got a slight headache as well. So, all right. Okay. So, any questions on the process on divine healing? That was sort of a taste of how this works. This is how you get home, basically. Put it in the chat or ask me here. Everyone's speechless after all that. Okay, if there are no questions, I'll move on to the next thing. Okay. So, Susan said, any connection with divine healing and Kundalini activation? Susie, Kundalini activation is more the soul activating the life force at the base of the spine, whereas divine healing is you consciously aligning to higher consciousness and commanding your own awakening. So it's quite a big difference really here. This is about you being empowered and taking charge for your own awakening. That's the difference. Okay. Any other questions? You can put it in the chat, guys, if you've got any. No? Okay. Well, if you still think about it, just put it in there. I'm just going to go on to the next bit. So, how can you become more clear and confident to deliver your gift? So, if you're interested in learning more about this, about divine healing, okay, you can come and learn it with me if you want, if you're drawn to it. This runs as a 4-day training, and that's where we spend 4 days online learning this manual. We spend 4 days going through these charts on Zoom like this. And basically this is where it's very experiential learning. It's where I demonstrate each chart, I explain it, and I demonstrate it if it's a complex chart, where I demonstrate it on someone in the class. You basically get a healing. It's a massive healing intensity. You get 4 days of healing with all these charts. And so I demonstrate it on someone, then you go off into virtual Zoom breakout rooms. We have virtual privacy, and you can practice on each other, giving and receiving divine healing. And every healing that's given, everyone in the class receives. And for the less complex charts, I just do it on the whole class because it's quicker that way. But you still get the effect. I explain it, then we demonstrate it. So basically, we follow the spiritual signature here, the way we teach this. The way it works is that we basically, every class is different. We set group intention, and then I just flow with whatever charts come to me from the teaching team. And you learn the work and you receive the healing all at the same time when you do this. And people come out pretty transformed. So you get the healing intensive, plus you also learn how to do it on yourself. It means you can clear about 80% of your own issues yourself. The other 20% are usually deep core ego programs, which require someone else's experience when they work to hold space. And you can use it on other people if you have a healing practice or want to start a healing practice. So it's very powerful. And it runs the 28th of February to the 2nd of March on Zoom. The time is optimized to go from the west coast of North America out to the eastern bloc in Europe, which is where most people are, Western Hemisphere. And it runs 12:30 to 8:30 UK time, 7:30 to 3:30 Eastern time, 4:30 to 12:30 Pacific time, and 1:30 to 9:30 in European time. So if you're interested, the deposits, the total cost is £490 or $660 US. But the deposit is £166 and $225 approximately. So you can find out more by going to the divinehealingtraining.com. It says more about the course. Or you can have private sessions, but at £178 a session. But for about 5.5 hours of private sessions, you can actually come on the course, which most people do, because then you can do most of it yourself. So it's a transmission really, and it's a transmission of love, where everyone forms this very close-knit group consciousness, and the group consciousness guides us in the process of awakening and healing. And then you have a tool for life to manifest the very thing you came here to do, your gift of service. I would say if I hadn't, Amira, who developed this here, who used to work with me in the Center for Conscious Ascension, she'd been looking for a tool to clear, because we used to be married, to clear all our stuff, because we had very deeply disempowering childhoods. We tried lots of things. So this came out of our own need to awaken and bring our gift of service to the world. And the result of that is both of us have got a lot clearer and are now delivering this globally, this sort of work. So it was out of our own personal need. She developed with 2 other friends of ours who worked together with her and channeled the soul system from source. So any other questions on this before we finish? Put in the chat or just talk to me if you want. You're a bit stunned.
Nicolas, how many kinds of trainings are there?
Who's speaking? Is that Anne, is it?
Yes, it is. How many different kinds of trainings are there?
In what? Within divine healing, or?
Yeah, I've been looking on the website because I am really interested in this. I found a webinar from 2017. Now, given I'd been doing a lot of meditation, and I think that also primed me, but I'm telling you, I did a webinar from 2017, and I'm thinking, well, we'll see if this actually affects me. And this spiral of energy jettisoned out my head. And since then, my mind, I've always been aware that, you know, while I was meditating, I'm like, there's a blockage. I feel it. I feel energy blocking, and it's not going, you know, it's kind of shooting off instead of going to where it's supposed to be. And I felt a huge release. And I'm like, okay, now if this can do it from a webinar from 2017, I want to know more about this. So I signed up for your email, and you sent this out not long after. But I'm really interested in learning deeply into this.
Well, there are 5 levels of divine healing, and they each build on each other. And this level is about initial empowerment. The next level is about clearing the body, because if you clear your body of low frequency stuff, higher consciousness can come in. Level 3 is about self-love, and level 4 is very much connecting to higher consciousness. Plus, there's lots of other higher level supplementary trainings that are available. But this is a whole system designed to awaken and get home and bring your mission online, basically, live a happier life. That's what it's for. And it's all about asking, you shall receive. And the more you get clearer, the more you believe, therefore the more powerful it becomes. It's a positive feedback loop you get here with us. Okay, Alana says she's interested. Any other questions about the whole thing? Comments?
So that is where you would start, Nicolas, was with this one, this next one, you would say, and then build on a series of these?
Yeah, this is level 1. Level 1 you just saw the manual for. You start with level 1 and see how you go with that.
But that next workshop coming up in end of February would be
28th
February.
That's the entry point.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right. I got to work around, I got to see around this. I'm a pharmaceutical consultant.
Well, isn't that interesting? So.
Make them compliant, make them make safe drugs. But it's like, I know I'm really supposed to be, you know, the longer I do this, the more it's like, I know I'm supposed to be healing people energetically.
Yeah.
But, you know, this is what I got educated to do, the compliance thing and everything like that. It's like, all these things happen every time I work toward transitioning to my own business. And, you know, like I said, that's when I saw it. It's like, I'm manifesting them.
Yeah, well, our Mary used to be a top medical doctor in Ireland. Then she decided 5-minute consultations weren't doing it, so she became a healer and developed this. I used to be in the space industry. I used to form global joint ventures and satellite communications. That's what I used to do. So
yeah, at the time, it was meaningful, and over time, you become more and more like, okay, this is. I get a sense of doing my job well, but it's not going any deeper than that, you know.
Yeah. And then we get to a point in life where you're thinking, just not doing it, have to leave, and it doesn't. The status and the money and all the ego-based things that are there become irrelevant after a while, because we want to move to our true purpose. And we want to deliver our gift, which is the most important thing, and live a more fulfilled life as a result.
Agreed.
But everything we learn in our 3D jobs is used in our spiritual work as well. So don't feel you wasted your time or anything. If you make that jump, it's all there as part of the training.
Yeah.
Any other questions, people?
I have a question.
Erin, go for it.
So I've had some training in other healing modalities, and in that process of journeying and meditating, I received some directions, and I don't really know like what to do with them. They don't fully make sense to me right now. I'm sure, you know, at the end of this, it'll be obvious, but I'm wondering if in the process of taking the class, there is some guidance for connecting and making sense of directions that you're getting, if that makes sense.
Yeah, as you start to clear the issues in the right order with your ego, and then
Right.
It'll be like slivers of it. Oh, you say, oh, that's interesting. You pursue that. And gradually it starts to show itself, because we have to be ready to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be ready. Yeah. But, we can look at, the thing you might want to consider is looking at your soul contract, which is the Hebrew numerology we do. And that will tell you precisely where you need to go. So,
I have done that. I have your book, which is what led me here.
Oh, you got it already.
I'll show you. Yeah, I got it.
I told you a bit of things, but.
And I have done that, and I have a lot of 8s, and I don't really have a lot of choice in my path. This is the path.
This is the path, and this is it. Yeah.
So that's why I'm trying to figure it out and not trying to struggle with it anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, maybe a personal reading would help to focus that. That's the other way of looking at it as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, people? In the chat or just talk to me before we finish. So I will once the video is processed, I'll have it emailed to you in a few days, end of the week at the latest. So if you watch the video, don't listen to it when driving or anything like that, because it's going to be just as strong as it is here. You need to be in a sacred space. It gets very altering. It's very strong. It's the same power as you're receiving now with the video, okay? And if you're having an issue, just watch the video. It'll clear that layer, okay? All right.
I have a question.
Okay.
With the video, do we do the practice as we've done this evening?
Just follow the instruction the same way as I said it, because the video is the energy set at the beginning and the end already by me. It'll shift the next layer for you, okay, whatever that is, when you watch the video. Some people
just watch it rather than actually do
No, you need to actually participate like you are now, because it's a transmission. The energy will rearrange around whatever you need. It's the way it works, the videos.
Okay.
Yeah. I've discovered some people watching it dozens of times and getting this massive healing. So I didn't quite realize what was going on when I first started. I was just following my guides. They just said, time to do this. And so this is how the webinar series, with the help of my marketing guy, we hadn't realized quite how powerful this was going to be. So this is strong stuff. It's like doing a full healing session when you watch the video. Okay. All right, everybody. Okay. Thank you. Lizette said thank you. Yeah, thank you for coming, and drink lots of water and take it easy, because this is strong. The clearing may go on for 2 or 3 days at least after this one. Okay. All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.